Let's go barrel racing again, guys. We are leaving in 3 days for the biggest event of our year. No, I have no idea where my number plate went. I am working on that. Anyway, we are going to a barrel race in Waubra today. It is Cup Day, Melbourne Cup Day, so there is a holiday and we are barrel racing. As you can see, it has been raining. I thought this barrel race was going to get called off. And if I'm being honest, a little bit of me wanted to stay in bed this morning when my alarm went off because it was just so cozy. But I am in this for the long haul. We need to make some runs. We need to try and fix some things before we go to this massive event because there is some things to be fixed. I threw in a couple extra bits because we are still on that young horse thing where we may change bits when we get there. That also could be a little bit me. Oh, look at this little 3-9 selfie. On a side note, all of these black basics are on their way. I finally got hold of a supplier I really like, so we will have them for sale soon. I know it's been a very long process and I've been saying that for a while, but they are on their way. Anyway, got to the barrel race, started saddling up. I had 4 horses to run today because I was running Banjo for Montana. She stayed at home to look after Steely, and I was also running one of my mum's horses because if you've been watching the other videos, you'll know she broke her ankle, but she's still planning on competing at the ABHA finals, so her horses also need the runs. Anyway, I had 3 to exhibition. First was Banjo. Bro, if all of my horses could be like Banjo, he is our futurity horse. He's really young, but he is just so chill. Man, that horse literally just wants to be at the trailer. Get on, warm him up. He goes and does his job. He usually does his job great and then likes to be back at the trailer. Anyway, this is Mum's mare. I literally got on her about 5 before my run. I was a little bit scared that she might buck me off because this mare is very opinionated and sometimes I can clash with horses like that. But she made this really good run for me. She's actually so much fun. She clocked really well. I think we won the 2D, which is crazy considering I literally had no idea. I didn't even know what way she ran when we walked in the arena. I was like, Mum, does she run to the right? Anyway, next up was Marshy. This is us doing some cute little warm-up techniques. I really wasn't sure how Marshall was going to go because if you watched the last vlog I posted, he fell over in a pretty bad way just a couple of days ago. So I was a little bit worried he might be a little bit sore or a little bit tentative. But he kind of turned up. We had a bit change while I put a tie down on him and it seems to have really worked for him. He clocked super well and was just out of the money in the top of the 1D and clocked with a bunch of rodeo horses. So honestly, I was so happy with that. He's not been seasoned in the slightest yet. So to clock the way he did, especially after a massive fall on the weekend, I was so happy with him. It started raining, so we all went and hid from the rain. Banjo, like I said, he's such a dude. He's just get me out of this rain. Anyway, I got back on him to make this run. Now, Montana has been purely riding this horse. I have not really touched him since Montana has been home and been training on this horse, which obviously she does a great job, so it's really not that big a deal, but you just never know, especially if you haven't been riding a horse. He went in there and just went to work. Like I have said before, this is our young horse. He has another 2 years in the futurities over here. And so we kind of have just been letting him cruise around, just really showing him around everything. This horse just takes absolutely everything in his stride. He wants to work. He wants to just win, honestly. And I feel like he wants to go fast. We're just kind of babying him, which I still agree with. I sort of don't like pushing them when they're young. So we're just going to let him be the baby. Once he gets home from ABHA, he'll probably have a nice big break. We'll probably then go and rope on him a little bit. And then he can finish off his barrel racing career in the next couple of years. Then it was time for my problem child. As you can see, this mare decided to run up the pen again. Now at this point, this mare feels like she was doing it out of being naughty. She already had exhibitioned and turned right really well. She's kind of gotten in this weird habit of doing it now. We do think it maybe started because of her star fills, but if you know this mare, you'll know that her attitude and personality is really one of a kind, man. I kind of forget what cool her uncle was like. That horse, when he was younger, I would have to lope him down. Mum would have to lope him down because I was pretty young. We would lope this gelding down for hours before he would go to work. And this mare, unfortunately, for me, is very similar. So I took her out the back and loped her down until we made this next run. As you can see, there were still quite a few mistakes, but she clocked really well because she's an absolute freak. It's usually the way when they're this talented that they will make you work for it. So she was 0.2 off Marshall, which he clocked with some really great horses. So anyway, we got backed up and got home to obviously work more horses. He's Pete and his horses, but we are having a huge week next week at Tamworth. So make sure you like and follow and do all the things for those vlogs.